Okay.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
I am living in a wild television studio at the moment. They are doing a commercial next door to me, but we must have 25 to 50 people out here. They have television equipment everywhere. Patrick, you would probably understand this. It is absolutely wild. They're using my back area for their quote unquote canteen so they can feed and coffee these 50 people who are here.
Gee.
But the most exciting thing is that one of the cameramen is fascinated with my ginkgo leaves. And so they've been out there for the last 20 minutes trying to photo the right ginkgo leaf.
Oh, man, I have some I can give if he's really interested in them.
Yeah, I told him, I said, are you going to clean this up for me? Because it's a commercial for STIHL equipment, which they're out here with a ton of blowers and whatever. So it's a little wild. If you want to see a television production in full gear, come on over.
Those people can be pretty strange.
Well, there's one guy, Patrick, I wonder if he's the head of all of it. He's very odd. He's just like walking around with his face mask down and observing everything. And I'm thinking, is he the head honcho or what?
He's probably the producer, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the trick is to wander around and look like you're in charge. That's what producers do.
That's it. That's what
Morning.
it's about.
Back in the old days, we'd have a clipboard.
I was just going to ask, does that involve a clipboard?
Yeah.
He does have a briefcase.
There you go.
Briefcase.
Full of money.
Well, not a briefcase, but a case of stuff.
That's the one.
That sounds like a really big production. That really does.
It is. This is going to be a global commercial for them, and they're using my next door neighbor's front and my other neighbor's back, but it is a big deal. It's a huge deal. So
For leaf blowers.
Hmm?
For leaf blowers. Is that the commercial? Leaf blowers?
Well, they do leaf. It's STIHL, which isn't. I think here is
Steel.
not as steel. Leaf blowers, chainsaws, you name it. My back driveway is loaded with all their equipment, right? All their products right now. I'm just hoping they leave something behind.
I was going to ask if you got to keep any of it for rent.
Either that or
I think they bring in those special leaves and they leave those for you, Mayor.
Oh, there you go.
Well, they did. One of the people came the other day with bags of leaves in case there weren't any. And I got
no problem.
There's
Do you
never
need
enough.
some
They're probably
more?
Plastic too.
Yeah.
I got lots. I would be
Yeah.
happy to share.
Well, those leaves will probably be there in the spring and the next spring and the next spring.
Yeah.
So I think we have everybody here, correct?
Yeah.
And
That's great.
Katie, obviously you're running this meeting, but I have to tell you that Jennifer is out. She has COVID.
Oh,
So, but she's doing much, much better. I talked to her last night for a long time. She's been home now for about 10 days.
Oh,
Last week, she was really not doing, I mean, you know, the fever and cough and that sort of thing. But yesterday when I talked to her last evening, she sounded like so much better. So that's a good thing. Katie's out because she has to quarantine, and we've just had a lot of this stuff at City Hall now. So
Jerry, can we
anyhow.
send her a card with
yeah, feel
like,
free. Yeah.
Can
I'll see if I
can I
yeah,
get her address?
yes, I'm gonna have to go look it up, but I will email that to you
Okay.
later.
And could we do, someplace where she could get meal delivery? Could we put everybody chip in for a gift card? I'm not sure where.
I'm not sure. I think if we send her a note, that'll be
I think that's
a good
enough.
thing. We've all kept volunteering to, do something, and she's been reluctant. So
Yeah.
I think
Wow.
if you send her a note,
Doesn't feel
and
very good.
I'll get that together. So
Yeah, just send me her. Is everybody okay with me signing all your names? I'll sign it
Yeah.
from all of us. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll do
nice.
that.
wow, I am so sorry.
So
sorry to hear that.
Katie, if you want to, I'll write people's names down, and you can go ahead and run this meeting.
So we got roll, and I know Jennifer said, she obviously didn't get the minutes out. Is somebody,
No.
or Jerry, are you going to take minutes?
Yes,
for
I
us?
told her I would take minutes for her.
So we'll put that off till the next meeting.
Yes.
So I guess the first thing was an update on Earth Rabbit.
Yes. Last week in talking to Scott, I talked to Scott on Friday, and they were awaiting the design for fastening Earth Rabbit to a concrete pad, because apparently there's something complicated about it. And they're working also with Webster University on Webster's piece. He said there's something really complicated where you have to crawl inside to fasten it. Anyhow, he was, going on and on about it. But as soon as they figure out how to fasten it, then what they'll do is, he said they're working with Webster University, so they only have to hire a crane once, so that they can go and get both pieces and set both pieces on the same day. So that's where he is. I'm anticipating soon.
Good. Sounds great. Great. And kudos to Scott for taking that on. I'm sure that's above and beyond his job description, crawling inside of statuary.
Oh, he clearly would not fit in there. So they were laughing. They were laughing about finding the skinniest city employee who would do that.
Good. I hope they don't get somebody stuck in there. That's
Yeah.
so. All right. Well, do we have any update on the signage then? I think, was Jennifer looking into that, or Judy, were you?
No, John and I were looking.
No,
into
you and
it,
John.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me try. I did a little PowerPoint. Let me see if I can get it to work. I'm going to share screen. No, I have a new, I'm not sure this is going to work as well as I'd like it to. I have a monitor, and somehow I can't get my Zoom onto my laptop. It wants to be on my monitor, but the screen to be shared is my laptop. So it's not working. So anyway, I'll send those around. Basically, so John and I looked at 4 suppliers. Maybe I can call it up. and just to get prices and to get a sense of what might be available. Let me get, hold on, I've got to find the, where is that? So I have it in a file on my computer. So we contacted these 4 different fabricators. One, I think, was at the suggestion of Scott Davis. He gave us some old information. I think some of that wasn't useful, but we did call or go online to look at 4 different things. So, and John, you can chime in on your latest one. So we looked at 4 manufacturers, Alphabet Signs, which was Scott's recommendation. So what I had for you was an image to show you the condition of our signs right now. They're almost all of them are illegible. I mean, they are really so damaged. So we desperately need to do this. So essentially, most of them offer your standard bronze plaque. Kind of, it can have a gold border, you know, raised gold lettering. And then there's also cast aluminum, which I'm wondering, given the aesthetics of the park, that might be better. So we'll, we don't have, I don't know, John, did you get an image of any of the cast aluminum?
I just sent you one.
You did send it.
earlier.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So we'll have to send those. So anyway, the cost, you know, the plaques are 8.5 by 11. And so Alphabet Signs quotes a price of $378. And it's unclear, they can do a post mount. Most of theirs are kind of intended to be mounted on a wall or something like that. So I'm not quite sure if that changes the price. I didn't get a response on that. And then another company, Metal Designs, which also recommends, when I explained to him the deterioration, he also recommended bronze, and they offer a $340, but cast aluminum is $238. And the lead time, yeah.
Is that per sign then, or
Per
is
sign,
that?
per sign,
Okay.
per sign. And I think what John had the presence of mind to ask, I didn't, was, you know, if you order so many, is it a reduced, you know, obviously I contacted him about, you know, we're looking to do labels. I mentioned there were multiples, but nothing was said about what happens when you're ordering a dozen or something. I mean, if they're a dozen but different wording, does that count? All that. So I right now, yeah, it's per. Then Woodland Manufacturing for its cast bronze is $437 and cast aluminum $258. And then it seems there's an additional cost for the stakes or the. So, and John, you said you had a 4th one today?
Yeah, that was in graphics here in St. Louis, but they still have not gotten back with me. And when I left messages on the phone, plus I filled in the thing online, you know, the information. And their voicemail does say that they're on, everybody's working at home because of COVID. So maybe it's a long time to get back to you. So I'm still waiting for them. I don't know where they would fit into this, but we could, you know, if we go to a second round of pinpointing this, then we could give them that additional information, like how many we're going to order at once. Maybe there's a break on that or something.
Right. I guess I was a little surprised at the cost, the initial. So I wanted to maybe bring it back if this is a cost that is in the realm of possibility, then to pursue it. But you can see from all the 3 I quoted, they're ranging, you know, again, cast aluminum. Don, what would your thought be about cast bronze versus cast aluminum?
Well, I thought because of the cost and also the look of it, you know,
Yeah.
I like the aluminum, basically.
Yeah.
And I think for everybody to think like, you know, the memorial type stuff in the sidewalks, you know, like the stars over in Delmore, that's the type of relief it is.
Mhm.
And then in the aluminum, you can select different patterns behind it, you know, like a hammered look or lines or whatever you would want. So there's a little bit more I think, customization that we can do.
Mhm.
And also, I was also thinking, Judy, now that I'm talking, maybe we could make it a little smaller. It might be when we get down into this with them, is there a call, is there it's 8.5 by 11 now, but is there a, if we go to psych photography, if you go from 8.5 by 11 to 8 by 10, there's a big savings, usually, just from the way the material is. So there might be a savings there. And then from the overall look, I was wondering, should the top thing be the name of the sculpture rather than the artist? You know what I'm saying? Like in the case of Ernest Trova, we have a number of his pieces. So it's Ernest Trova, Ernest Trova, Ernest Trova, but people don't get that name, which might, affect your viewing. You know what I mean? When you see the name of a piece of artwork, it always does for me, if I'm looking at it and you see the name and then you look at the artwork and you see more like how the artist was thinking at that time. That's just a sideline thought that I had while I was going through this. So,
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
Judy,
yeah.
So if we go with the aluminum, it sounds like it's, just ballparking $250 a sign for the plaque. Am I
For
hearing-
plaque, yeah. So we have to verify if there's an additional cost for providing the post.
Would that be 50 for the post or?
well, they're about 90. I think isn't it on there, Judy? Isn't it about
Well, for
90?
Woodland Manufacturing did quote prices on this, what they call the stakes. So a 24-inch is 90, 36, 106, and 48, 125. Ours aren't even 24. Ours are maybe 12, maybe 16. I don't know.
Well, it's got to go into the ground though. So maybe 24 is only about 12 or 18.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I don't know how long they.
Will there be a fee involved in installing them? I assume these have to be set in concrete some way, right? So people don't just go yanking them back out?
Well, what are the current situation? Don, do you know what that is?
Hey, Don, you just muted
You're on
yourself.
mute, John.
Oh, I did the opposite. I thought I was muted. Yeah, I think the Parks Department sets them. And in fact, I want to say that they even had these welded through a source that they had. And I think the aluminum sign will look fine, in my opinion. I think that's a way to save. And obviously with the condition of them now, if they're obviously more expensive, you're paying for more durability, which is a good thing. Instead of replacing them every 5 or 6 years, I think that would be good to have a more durable sign. But and then as far as the length, I think they are a little bit longer. They're probably set in concrete, maybe a foot or two down in the ground.
Well, we can verify, get all that
from the
specifically, but I
Parks
guess
Department.
the question, Jerry's gone, but so that's.
No, I'm here. I'm
Oh, okay.
listening.
Well, that was my question, was if we're just ballparking 300 a sign, how many? What would it be, 7, 8 for the sculpture park? I assume we'll want one for Earth Rabbit. Do we need them other places? Like how many are we looking at getting?
Would we use the plates that are already there and just replace the face of them?
Well, that's a good idea.
So not needing a new post.
Right.
So they can mount the new sign on the like we could, I guess we have to make sure that, this would be a bit heavier than what's there now, right? So just to make sure that that would work.
Well, I guess just ballparking, like how many are we talking about? Like how
I would
many
say-
signs are we talking about?
Wouldn't it be 10 or wouldn't be any more than a dozen at this point, would it?
We have 3 at the,
Yep.
we have the Brother Mel's
Oh,
at
right,
the rec center.
Right.
And what does the one look like for
Oh, good, you have
for
yeah.
backflip?
Yeah, now that Carol's is much more legible than the others, I have to say. Just too bad I can't access mine, but wasn't that added later, a little later?
This one was, yeah, a little, well, maybe not.
Maybe not, no.
I don't think so.
No, okay.
It was all at the same time.
So I guess it just has to do with the weathering and the position. Probably some are open to more weathering. I did just 2 on the other side. Not where.
You know, that sizing piece, if that's an 8.5 by 11 and John has talked about 8 by 10, maybe he's got a point there because there's an awful lot of blank space there.
Yeah, right. And-
Well, you probably, you have to leave some room in case you get a piece of artwork, you know, from Dimitri O'Shaughnessy or something, you know, I mean, you have to leave some latitude, but yeah, I wondered, and your, you know, your choice of your type font can fill up an area quicker too.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, I think we could look at the design here. I mean, obviously it's the text that has to be legible and you could make it smaller. But I think to your point, John, about, you know, the traditional way of labeling artwork is to put the artist first.
Okay.
But we are not, we could do different ways of making the title of the sculpture much more prominent. So
Yes.
we could even change the sizing and put her name first, but then put beginnings and also put it bold or something like that. So there are some design changes, but yeah, I agree. I think we can go down and maybe I would assume that we would get savings. So we'll look at that. John, maybe we can come up with some that we think will work and then go back and get a bid for the cast aluminum and making sure we understand everything.
And also if we take maybe a picture of how this is hooked on, you know, and show it when we're getting our, you know, our next level of prices, maybe there is something where they can accommodate our post. I don't
Right.
know.
And I do have photographs from the other side for the Evans piece. So we could, yeah, we could show them. And
Okay, so we're looking at Three Brother Mel's, Earth Rabbit, Backflip. Are we, this is embarrassing, I should know this. Do we have 6 pieces now in the sculpture?
no, I think more, right?
7?
1, 2,
Yeah.
3 on the one side and 5 on the other, right? Or do we have the empty? Am I
We
including
have an empty.
the trova, the eggs, this one? I forget about that.
Right, I mean,
Um,
it's
three-
3 on each
Only 3 and 3.
side.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
So we're up to 11 there. Do we have other?
Oh, another thing you could at least consider is if there's a big cost difference and you know we're getting another 1 or 2 pieces of art, you could order, you know what I mean? Order them as part of the first, you know, in other words, if they'll give you a break at 13 of them, let's say, or something, and then order those extra 2 without finalizing it, you know, just have it in reserve. If the cost difference is worth that, and we know some artwork is coming.
Yeah, but we do have to know specifically. The
Well,
art.
you wouldn't have to order it until you get it, but you'd say, oh, I know there's a piece coming here. Let's order the sign and hold it in reserve. I'm just throwing out different options we can do with the vendor, you know, to get our
Right.
price down. That's all.
So we
So-
are prepaying for a piece that they
Yeah.
are not ordering yet.
Right.
Yeah.
If the cost savings isn't enough, and if we know something is coming within the next, whatever, 8 months or, you
Right.
know, a year or something.
So bottom line, Jerry, if we go absolute, assuming we can reuse the stakes and we go with the aluminum and it's 250, if we need 11 of them, we're looking at 2,750. Is that even going to be like that's 3,000 is the low end. Is that even a possibility that's worth pursuing?
I don't know. I'm going to have to ask Jen about what was approved in the budget. But it seems to me that somewhere along the way, we should be able to figure out how we can find $3,000 to do this. I
So
think we
Dee,
should.
I guess if you want to carry on with that and get some real numbers for us, I mean, it sounds like that's
Mhm.
doable.
You're talking to me and John. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm. Right.
Judy and John, if you would
Be very
just
specific.
carry on and get
Getting-
some actual numbers, looking at 11 that we currently know we need.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
but I think to John's point, we could say, but if we order 15, it drops down to whatever we might think of
Right.
pre-ordering or telling them we're going to have 4
You
more.
You said it so much more efficiently. That's what I was getting to. You know, in other words, like, let's say there's a 10%, you know, reduction, then every 10th one is free, basically. So if we know one's coming, we just order it and hold it in reserve.
Mhm, mhm.
So we're gonna get some pricing on perhaps making an 8x10 instead of an 8.5 by 11.
Well, I'll just ask, when we narrow this down, I would ask that, that supplier, is there, I don't know that there's any. I'm just saying sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you're gonna ask about.
Yes,
We're
I would.
talking about aluminum materials and we're talking about costs.
Yeah.
And we need to figure out whether we need posts or we can use the current posts, correct?
Right.
That's what we need to do. Okay.
Sounds like
I
a
think
plan.
going forward, we should probably plan, we're gonna have to use their post, you know what I mean? Just to be,
Is
to
this-
know that what we're buying, I'm just thinking that that's
Well, I
probably
think
going to be
if-
what we should plan on, but if we can use the other, we could save some money.
And we need to figure that out. So
Yeah.
that's something we
Well-
should figure out before we get bids. Yeah.
At $100 a stake, you're talking another $1,000.
$1,000.
Mhm.
And I mean, budgets do run out. Okay, anything else on signage then? Are we,
So
Well,
we're going to we're going to continue to pursue this and come back at the next meeting with more refined information. Okay. And I'll talk to Jen about the money.
so the next item on the agenda is lighting, which I believe is the lighting for Earth Rabbit, if I'm remembering correctly. And I'm wondering if it's not worth just sort of tabling that until Earth Rabbit's in place, because we don't actually know what we need.
I don't think there will be lighting for Earth Rabbit. Honestly, I'm just not sure that you would have the expense of running a conduit under there to that spot. It
I thought-
may not.
Scott was talking about existing light.
Oh, that's
or
right, he
like
was.
Correct something or change.
Yeah.
I thought there were some options that didn't involve a new.
So we need to ask him.
But I'm thinking that we need to get Earth Rabbit there first, and then we can figure out where to go from there. So maybe we table that discussion
Good.
until Earth Rabbit's present.
Right.
That okay with everybody?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the next item on the agenda then is the proposal of a walking tour, an art walking tour. Did anyone have a chance to look over the list of arts organizations that Jennifer sent out after our last meeting? Or to get on the website, the city website, and look at the list of arts organizations? It does need a little updating. I think Caston's Ballet Studio is still on there, I think. And did everybody get Jennifer's email after the last meeting? Ringing any bells?
I think I did, yeah. And I glanced, but I didn't go back.
Well, maybe we can, Jerry, do you have or you know what? I have it. I bet I can resend it. Why don't I resend that? If everybody wants to take a look at that and we can start talking about it. Bill and I were trying to figure this out because there ought to be a way that we could link this through to the city website so that as people are walking around, they have access to more information than just what would fit on a brass plaque in front of things. But we don't know what the support would be for that from City Hall. So I know Jennifer had it on her to-do list, and then obviously she's doing other things right now. So we'll circle back around on that. John, I thought you had maybe some people that you were thinking of who might be interested in doing video for us, doing photographs.
Well, no, I just have my neighbor, their son is a videographer now. So I was just suggesting if we need any, we could get he did some video for the holiday material last year for the
Mhm.
Webster Wonderland. And he's reasonably priced, so.
Yeah, which I think will be key. as
Right,
it
but I
turns out.
didn't call him. There was anything. I know he's available and he lives here in town, so.
Let me resend Jennifer's email, and if everybody could take a look at that list. Did anybody else have any input on that? because I kind of wanted to segue from that into another question, which John, you just reminded me of, and it fits nicely under miscellaneous. Are we doing any of the holiday? I know last year we had that whole thing with the candles that I think Beth and I went to. John, I think you were there as well. The business district did the whole lighting with the candles, and for the holidays, there was an organized effort to do the hat and mitten tree at the library. We did, you were talking about some sort of an outreach to people who were shut-ins who needed help, Jerry. Is any of that going on this year? Are we?
Not
COVID,
really.
COVID?
I don't know. You know, we can do something, but I'll tell you what Jen and I talked about yesterday and I was going to bring it up under miscellaneous. We always have a board and commission party every year for the board and commission members. And this year, obviously, we can't do that. We're not doing that. But we thought it would be really cool if we had sort of like a card, but with maybe some sort of stamp out ornament that we could send to all of our board and commission members as a bit of a thank you for their work, along with a note of thanks. And we wondered if the Arts Commission would be at all interested in it. I mean, we talked about doing an ornament, but then packing that up and sending it to everybody. But if we had something that maybe creatively you guys could design that would fit in an envelope that might be, I don't know, something that people could hang on their tree that would be something from the Arts Commission. I don't know. Anyhow, that's what I'm throwing out here as a possibility.
You could do a fold over card that could be folded once it's opened, you know, with directions to fold it or something. I think you could.
I mean, we could do something really cool, and we could use some of that money that we had put aside for the board and commission party to do something that we could give to our board and commission members. So I wanted to toss that out as a holiday hoo-ha.
How far afield, I mean, how much do we want to be hands-on that, and how much can we? And the reason I ask is Purina, the Fancy Feast PR team, does a holiday ornament every year. They're pretty funny. But a couple of years back, they worked with Fireworks Press, and they did a paper. So it came in an envelope, and it
Yes.
of course, was a bunch of cats and whatever, but when you took it out, it opened and interlaced across itself. Like, so it turned into an ornament that you could hang on the tree, but it came flat in a card. And they did the whole thing. I mean, they printed it and stamped it out and probably addressed it too, but then Purina threw a ton of money at it. So,
They design them too, I think, Firecracker.
would we want to talk to some other organization, or is that something we would want to take on ourselves?
Well, it's good that you were thinking about something that's flat, because we were thinking that's something that we could mail in an envelope. We can always do all the addressing. I mean, we have labels and all that sort of stuff. It's the actual item itself that maybe we could think about designing.
Yeah, I guess that's my question is, do you want us to design it, or are we okay with talking to somebody? I don't know, John, you're really good at
It would
this.
be us to design it. It's
It
just
could be-
something we could do.
Yeah.
How about something that's like origami with directions on how to fold?
Yeah, that's what I
Jerry
was
talking
thinking
about. Yeah.
There's some simple ones that could be as an ornament or just as something to put on a shelf.
It'd be kind of fun to have some ornament that they could keep from year to
Yeah.
year,
I was
that-
thinking more general for some people who don't believe in Christmas.
I'm thinking of a little star with cut along the dots.
Oh, yes, follow the dots.
Yeah,
That-
like really low budget, cut along the
I'm good at
dots and then
that.
poke a hole in it.
Ah,
Well, I mean, to Katie's point, there are card companies like Minted and things that do these ornament cards that you could have like Webster Grove's logo printed on and have a message. And that would be like one fell swoop probably to get that done.
Could we use the moose things that they used to put out as kind of it's a very Webstery image, and I think it would be fun to have sort of that three-dimensional moose, or
Reindeer, reindeer.
reindeer, sorry. But anyway, yeah, wouldn't that be? I mean, people love them, and I think that I wanted something that's kind of fun and quirky, not sort of serious.
Yes, exactly. And that's why we thought we have all these artists on the Arts Commission. Maybe if there's something fun and quirky we could do. Think about it. I mean, we can't think about it too long because it's.
I was going to say, we got to think fast, and we have to produce them fast too, because we need to get them out in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, to have them to people in a timely manner to hang up for Christmas this year.
Yeah, if we could get them out right after, the 1st of December or so, that would be great. But
You design something that they can figure out how to make it into a 3D. So hire the company to translate it into an ornament, but we could design the thing it is. I don't know.
Well, a lot of that production is what's gonna kill your cost. The quirkier and the more designy you get, the more production cost you're gonna run into,
yeah.
with your print. So it's gonna be time and expense. But what about some kind of a limited edition little poster that they get? You know what I mean? I'm just brainstorming, but I could see almost like a Patrick's woodcut, and I hate to put work on you, Pat, but like a Christmas or not even Christmas, winter in Webster, and then you get you get a real nice, 8x10 print suitable for framing, or of that. And then
How many are we would be sending out?
Oh, I was thinking about that. I think we're somewhere between 150 and 200 because we obviously want to include the council and.
Well, it wouldn't, and I'm just brainstorming too. You could take rather than do 150 woodcuts, like on the press, you could take something like that and take it to Graphica,
Right.
and have them.
Exactly. That's what I meant, Patrick.
Yeah.
So they would get and it wouldn't have to be you, but I meant I could see your style of artwork being that,
Well, I have one that's like a tree with snow falling, and one of them is pretty big and the other is like Christmas card size. But
So one thing to think about if we wanted to do something that was an image that someone on the commission designed, but have, take some of the production out of it. I mean, you can get like I'm just looking now, like you can get a card snowflake and you can put whatever image you want, whatever JPEG or image you want in the center and sign it. And that comes with a ribbon. And that's like a 55 for 155. That's kind of the pricing. But I mean, considering the time crunch of being able to have something out in a couple of weeks, the production and trying to get, it might be easier to go the route of having the image come from something from the council and then the actual production.
I was thinking more.
Well, John, you're so good at digital things, images. You could easily put something together and make it very graphic. I was thinking, even since it's supposed to be for the council people, just a picture of the city hall, but looking like it's dressed up for Christmas.
Well, I don't think it necessarily has to be from the council people. I mean, you could use an image from the sculpture garden.
Yeah.
You could use the bird or anything that is in the city that's kind of cool.
Does anybody have a picture of the bird with snow on it? Don, do we not?
That's
No.
easy to.
I have the one church from our snowfall, the front door of the Presbyterian church, I guess.
Can we Photoshop some snow
can
on?
we put snow on the bird?
Sure.
Well,
I have some cotton
I got-
batting. We could.
I got 50 photographers running around
Right.
here now.
they got fake leaves. They have fake leaves. They probably have
And
fake
fake
snow.
leaves,
too.
Fake
They
snow.
have-
There you go.
They have, oh my God, they have set up, the screen, the whole bit around my yellow ginkgo leaves. They have been out there for an hour and a half with those doggone leaves.
Reorganizing leaves.
So
Wait.
maybe we could get them to do something.
Maybe we could just put a mask on the bird and everybody will know what year it was.
Yes.
Like that.
That could be very
Christmas mask
cool.
on the bird or a holiday mask.
That could be
A
very
holiday,
cool.
some
to put a
holly,
holiday mask on the
jingle
bird.
bells.
Maybe instead of happy holidays, 2020, it's almost over.
Dear God. And I hope the light I see at the end of the tunnel isn't the train coming in the other direction.
Yes, right, right.
I like the sweatshirt.
2021.
2020, 1 star. Do not recommend.
Cannot recommend. Okay, so I love this idea, and I love this idea as an ongoing suggestion, like to have this will be the 2020 card, but this would be something that we could continue to do year after year and
Yeah.
feature
Yes.
something from the city. But I mean, to Beth's point, I think we're on the same wavelength here. We need to get something in the works quickly, because if we're going to
Yeah.
get it turned around and out before Christmas, I mean, so maybe, I don't know, Patrick, I love the idea of one of your woodcuts. If you have.
Okay,
one or-
hang on 1 second. Okay, just don't go away.
Beth, can I ask you again? So describe what they do. So it's a snowflake ornament?
Well,
that
there's a lot of different options, and we don't have the chat feature here, so I can't, right? Like, I'm not seeing the chat to send the link, but there's a lot of different, it's just like how people order their Christmas cards. They have options where you can order an ornament, and it comes with like a linen ribbon. So like, just looking at the options they have snowflakes, they have circles, they have ornament things that are shaped like ornaments,
Hey,
leaves.
Beth, what website are you looking at?
Currently I'm on minted.com, minted.com. And then so if you just Google holiday card ornaments,
Okay.
but basically you can put whatever image you want in the center and crop it whatever way you want, put your signature in with whatever font you want. And then they print it and give you the envelopes as well to fit it. So it's
No.
easy.
That's a woodcut, and it's wintry, and I've got variations of that, but this is like the size of like a card, and it's like I glue it onto a regular fold out card. So it's not easy to make 100 of them, but I mean, if you wanted something like that,
It's
and
easy
then
to get
take
it printed. Just
and
get it
have
printed
it printed, but
at
I
FedEx.
mean, I'm not pushing my own thing here. I mean, but that would just
We
be
could-
like, all right, it doesn't have any reference to Webster. It's just
Yeah,
winter.
it would be kind of, Patrick, that's a beautiful piece, but it would be kind of nice to have something that was a reference to Webster Groves.
No, yeah.
Marilyn, do you
Like,
say
sort of like our
watercolors?
things we've got for what is it, our houses, the plaque, Don, your plaque.
You guys, they have a steamer out here on my porch. They're steaming a flag.
Put some asparagus in there, you'll have lunch.
Do This might be a nice tradition every year to come out with a
Yes,
unique
it would
kind
be.
That's what I'm thinking. I think it's a
But by a
fantastic
different
idea.
artist every year. Marilyn, do you have I can't believe you don't have like a bunch of watercolors of Webster in the winter.
No, we don't have.
You
that
don't?
in winter. But I do. have a
Marilyn, could
lot
you
of
just
Christmas
add some?
cards that I've made? Because that was except they were angels, so we can't have that. But for other subject matter, I've always done some kind of a card that was unique, that was mine, that I've always sent out, except recently because nobody sends cards anymore.
Yeah.
I have-
Angels, you can't
This
do
one-
I've been
angels.
thinking, look we could do the cupola on top of the city hall with
Okay.
snow on top of it, because we should do something that's very architectural, since Webster's known for their unique architecture. That's why I was thinking with Don's design for what was it, our architectural
The architectural
Prizes.
excellence in architectural
Yeah.
achievement or whatever. Mhm.
So
If anyone's on email, I just did send the link to the minted.com so you can see kind of
Yeah,
the variety of
I've got,
images.
these are really cool. I love these.
Because you can take whatever image you want and just embed it onto the snowflake or circle. And
I'm
Marilyn,
tempted
can
to look
you-
at some things on origami that can be just printed. So if somebody wanted to, they could fold it out. I've got books on that because I used to teach it. Maybe I can find something very simple that but still has a centered design of something that relates to the seasons. I mean, we could even just say seasons greetings. It could be
Marilyn, would
anything.
you?
Getting back to
Do you
the.
have an
the-
image of like the city hall cupola that you could put snow on? I mean, is this something that?
I could
could-
even make it look like a woodcut.
I
Yeah,
like the idea of the cupola as a sort of three-dimensional. I still can't get over the ornament. To me, that's cool. And
Yeah,
yeah,
that's,
add to it and
Well, that's why it'd be
really
nice
nice
for
as well.
them to take it and fold it out and hang it.
right, or just two that intersect, can be punched out and
Mhm,
intersect.
yeah.
A little
Like
ribbon
the
on
old fashioned Christmas tree that we used to always do,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
a slot. and you
So-
Stuck it in the middle.
So
and it stuck.
realistically, I mean, realistically on a, let's give this a 2-week turnaround.
Mm.
John, is this in your wheelhouse to
Yes,
take,
John could do a good job.
well, to take Marilyn's image?
I think you would
and
do
turn it
better,
into
Marilyn.
Something
but
that.
no,
can-
I would be glad to do whatever.
Well, I
whatever.
say
I was
Patrick,
thinking,
John and I sit down and come up
You
with
could-
something crazy.
Yeah.
and somebody mentioned the Catherine Mago piece. You could use that in a, you could put it in the snow if it was a watercolor or a woodcut, easily.
Be able to find a bird that can be folded up.
and I think Beth ought to be part of this too, because, with a time crunch right now, if there's something that's like a circle that we could use, that we could just use easily this year and put the bird on, or something that is Webster Groves on it, and get that thing with a little ribbon and whatever mailed out easily.
That's a great
That
idea.
may be a better way to go this year than trying to do something that's a little bit too sophisticated.
Well, and we would have more time to think about it next
Yes.
year. I mean, we
John,
could
do
build up to it and really design something, but yeah, if you guys haven't like just glanced at Minted, that what Beth is talking about, I mean, they have all kinds of die cut shapes and you put your image in the
Yeah.
middle of it. And so, well, anyway, yeah, I think that's a great idea. Judy, wait, who are we?
I could see a circle with the bird in the center sort of cut out, printed on both sides. So
With a hanger?
We could
We
even
can
do all of
something
this
really
production
three-dimensional.
stuff ourselves and easily get it printed within an hour. I know that the best place in town to get anything printed is High Tech over there at WashU. But I mean, if we, like John and I, we've got a background in doing things camera ready, we could get everything ready and have it printed like overnight. Just for the right size that would fit in an envelope. I don't think that's that much of a problem.
Just the
We
die
wouldn't have to
cutting,
go
it
through
would be
another
the only issue. I would see another process to have it die cut. I don't know if they do that at high tech.
Well, we wouldn't die cut it. They'd have to use their own scissors.
But
How's
then you couldn't
that?
have it on a really heavy card stock. I mean, you can't.
Yes, you can. You can have it
you
printed.
could have
on-
it, but then I worry about the ribbon having having a hole cut. I just think it's
Yeah.
more labor intensive for this round.
I think if we're
potentially.
gonna do that, go with whatever Beth was, and then just find out that space we have to fill and then figure out what goes in it,
Mhm.
Yeah, because if we have two sides, on one side, you really want to put Happy Holidays 2020 so that this becomes the first of some collection of whatever we do.
And I'm just wondering, like say in 2021, hopefully you'll go back to the party, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah,
Then
so
can the arts
maybe
commission
if some
keep
way
that
in the
Yeah.
text, almost the text here would be more a part of it. The illustration in this case could almost be secondary, because what's going to make it is, what a crazy year, or let's not have another one of these, see you next year or something, that highlights 2020, how it was. And, we hope technically, we don't ever have to send out another cardboard ornament because we're gonna have our parties. You know, that's what I would.
Well, also, there's always been this idea of a little handout. I know we had talked last year about doing something with the City of the Arts logo as an ornament that would be a take home from that party. So this may be the
Yeah.
only year that we have to mail it. I mean,
Yeah,
it may be in
yeah.
subsequent years, it would be a take home from
Yes,
the party that
party.
could be a lot more complicated, you know.
I think we do a wonderful series on Webster Grove sculpture, and each year
It's
it's
great. I
different.
love that idea.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I think we can't let this go. I think this is a great, I love it anyway. Maybe just.
What, I mean, maybe this is a little off the wall, but what about doing something with a mask, like a holiday
Yeah.
greeting on a mask, or?
Well, they talked about it
Or
on the
we could
bird, and so I,
Use the bicycle. Brother
Ruth?
Bell's bicycle and use the 2 circles on the bicycle as part of 2020.
can I share a
Design.
concept photo here?
Please
Yeah.
do.
So
Does that
you
make sense?
inspired me for the bird mask.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know if anybody hears me.
Yeah, Carolyn, we can hear you.
We do.
I hear you.
How about the messages? We're giving 2020 the bird.
I like that.
Have you
I'm
seen
not
a
sure that
graphic
we
with
can
2020
sign the
where,
city of Webster Groves to that.
Right, right.
well, there is a graphic with 2020 that is made that way.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, just
Well-
taking the wording with it, now that picture was nice, but
Yeah,
um,
something
you
more
could add-
holiday
if it
would be
was a
nice.
watercolor loosely done, you could, make it look snowy,
Mm.
snowfall.
Well, we're either on
I
the
do
art
like
print.
the idea of the bird in the snow on one of these die cut cards that Beth has that makes an ornament. Can we put those pieces together and have that turned out in a week or two? Can we? I don't even know what I'm asking for here. Do we
We can
have a?
We can even take like John's photo of the bird. And if you put it in Photoshop, you can make it look like a watercolor and nobody has to do any work.
Can we do that? And then be sure to label it as, Catherine Moggle's bird in the
We'll
Webster Groves
give
Sculpture Garden.
Catherine the,
Huh.
Yeah. She
I
froze.
like-
Is there a rights issue?
no,
Okay.
What?
no such thing as a rights issue anymore.
Well, particularly if we're not
My
selling
first
it,
thought is
right?
always, is there
We're
a
not
rights-
Well, we have
selling
the
it.
Nobody's stealing
We
it.
use
John's
that.
photo, so the only person you have to deal with would be the artist and the city. We
Yeah.
already got the
That's what I
city.
meant. I mean, with the artist.
Well,
And if
maybe we
we-
can send Catherine one.
Yeah, and because we use that photo for everything anyhow,
Right,
so.
and usually the artist just wants credit,
Yeah.
artwork.
That's what I
right?
mean, we definitely need to get her name on it.
Yeah. That's usually what the consideration is for the use.
Okay. So where do we go with this? Have we, Marilyn, John and Beth, are you guys?
Let's get somebody in charge and
Yeah.
like Katie, if you can round people up and make this
Yeah.
happen, that would be great. Can we make Katie in charge?
Yes, yes.
I'm agreeable.
Well, but I'm looking at the three of you because I think we've got a photo and we're gonna turn it into something that looks like snow, and then Beth is gonna figure out a way to put it on an ornament. Is that?
Well, if Don
And what I'm
sends me the
hoping is
photo,
that we can send that to everybody so that we get a lot of eyes on the words that go with this, because I do think we want to be careful. Just
I'll
because,
help you with the wording because this
need-
ultimately will come from the city.
right, and we need to
know.
make sure, as funny as many things are, we need to make sure that we're
Well,
not
I'll
saying
be
something
glad to take a try
inappropriate.
at it if Don wants to send me the
Send me a
high-res
JPEG of
photo
it.
that he took. Is that, would Don take that picture?
Oh, I did, but that wasn't the intent to use that. We can get a better shot for you if that's the,
So can we get this rolling? Because I think we
Get a
do need to
JPEG,
get
you can
this
work on
off.
it.
Even with immediate turnaround, we're probably looking at a week or more to get the cards
Yeah.
here, and we need to have these out right after Thanksgiving.
And if
so-
Beth would send me that connection you have with the size of the artwork or whatever?
I
we
don't
wanna
think
pick?
it,
But
you,
Minute
with,
dot
you're
com.
able to adjust the size. The size won't really matter. You can crop and adjust. So it's gonna be,
It's just a
and it-
circle?
well, I mean, it would be, basically, it depends on what we choose, a snowflake or a circle or whatnot. So, but I mean, I can send you the website, but it's not gonna matter too much because they have you are able to kind of like
Well,
shrink
make-
your
could-
image and everything.
Can we all go on there and people select what size they want so we are agreeable there and then I can fit?
No, just grab a size that works.
I mean, they're
I
all
like the-
roughly the same size. I don't think the size is gonna make too much of a
Yeah,
difference.
Yeah, I mean, you all are the artists and aesthetics. I mean, we can accept your decision as you look at the bird and what works best for it and just make a decision. I'm sure at this point, next year, maybe we can, wrestle it out, but this year we
Right.
have to
Right.
expedite.
Well, just
So I think
remember,
we all
art is-
trust you all.
art's in the eye of the beholder, Judy.
Well, there-
Beth, how much is this again?
Well, I just did an example of one. It's 55 cards for $155. And that's, I think, with the envelopes and the ribbons.
That's
So
kind of
that's
hard.
450 for 150 or 600 for 200
Okay.
ballpark. Plus postage. We'll have to put postage on it.
Usually envelopes are the most expensive.
I think that this place, it comes with an
Yeah,
envelope because
probably.
it's designed to be a card.
It does, yeah. Mhm.
And sorry, what was that source again?
It's
Minted.
minted.com. I'm sure there's a lot of other places that do it. That's just the first one that came up. And I think they have a 20% off coupon. So it'll probably be a little bit cheaper if we
Yeah.
go that route.
Yeah, Beth has just sent everybody this
Yeah.
link,
Oh,
so.
great.
Okay.
check
I
Oh,
have
yeah,
to go-
20% off.
Yeah.
And we won't pay tax on it and we'll just mail it through the city. I wondered, Beth, will it be a one stamp or are you gonna have to do two stamps on
I
it?
think it's one stamp. I don't think they're
Okay.
heavy.
Okay, good.
If we go in by a 5x7, which is a really good size.
So we're not doing the cutouts,
No, I think we should do the cutout. right?
Well, I
Okay,
mean, it
as-
depends on what size, it depends on what you choose. There's a snowflake, there's like a circle with like kind of like a scalloped edging that looks like an ornament. It depends on what we
okay,
want to select.
with,
so,
with your custom image on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Okay.
it's actually an ornament.
Right.
it,
Yes, an ornament.
It
So
is
it's a
an
bird
ornament.
made
It's a
into
heavy
one
paper
color
ornament, yeah.
Heavy paper ornament.
yes, it's not 3-dimensional, but it's 2-dimensional with a hanger.
You print both
We
sides,
need
Beth?
the image.
You can print something on both sides. The second side, I think, is a little bit more limited. You don't have your full image on there.
But I
kinda
mean, that'd
depend-
be a good size to put on your message. And then,
Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah, that's where you typically
that.
put the message, yeah.
Yeah,
So I
so you'd have
I
the
just went
full-
in and put an image of, am I able to share a screen here? Let's see. Let
You
me see if I
should.
can- Let me see if I can share this, because I just went in and put an image of WashU in as like a placeholder. So let me see if I can show that with you guys. I'm not sure if it's gonna let me, I might be having the same problem as Judy
Hey.
had earlier.
Email it to Don, because he's been really good about sharing screens.
I'm on that website, but I don't know if that, let's see if I can.
I just went in and just like took any image basically that I had on my desktop and it worked
Ah.
fine. It automatically shows you what it looks like with,
I think that one's beautiful with the
Yeah,
holly all
me
around
too.
it. That would be my pick.
I think it just depends on what, because that bird is so, it has such a different color palette that depending upon what the image looks like,
Yeah, we can do it with that solid color with a
combining the blue and the,
red one.
I kind of like the top one in this selection where the picture goes all the way out.
Yeah,
And then that could fill the bird and then there could be the fake
Yeah,
snowflakes coming around it or whatever.
yeah, I like it.
And then you could have a solid back,
Yeah, and we do have to have some place to put all the verbiage. I mean, we need
And then you'd have that whole back and you could have
That
that
would go in the
solid red or
back.
green,
Yeah.
whatever. Well, you wouldn't have orange, but
Yeah, and once people decide on the image, I'm happy to upload it and get the order ready people can confirm quantity.
Oh, look at the different designs. Wow. There was.
But the
one
Yeah.
verbiage would be
original
something
document.
very minimal,
Uh,
right?
Yeah, I think it's just like season's greetings from
Yeah,
the city of Webster. Thank
And
you
the
for your work
year.
and yeah, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll work on the message.
Okay. All right. Well, if everybody's okay with that, I mean, if everybody know what you're doing now?
Not really.
Not
Well,
really.
You need a design for just the bird with snow on it, right?
Yeah, well, I think we need a good high resolution photo and then we need to figure out how to make it look snowy. And then
That's-
Beth's gonna see if she can fit it neatly onto one of those cards.
well,
Jerry's
it's gonna,
on the
I mean,
words.
if, the only way I think I could do it, it would sort of, be a little surreal because I don't, you go in there laying in snow on this, it's gonna look corny, I think, my own self.
Yeah, so
I
is
think I can
Dawn,
make it look what I think would be attractive, it's not gonna look real wintry. You can also change it to, well, I'll have to see when I play with it.
Well, maybe we just take the bird and cut it out in the shape of a snowflake and don't try to alter the image. We'll just let,
and Dawn,
Well,
you're the
still
good
gonna have the background. I don't
photographer.
have any
so-
problem of putting, I can see putting some snowflake.
Yeah,
I think
maybe
it'll
we
look
don't have
okay.
to have snow because you got the snowflake design.
Well, I'm worried
You
too
can
that if we
put
have
the
an image
bird-
that doesn't look like winter and then we're trying to put, like if there's foliage in the back, it could look a little odd. I mean, I don't know how much photoshopping we want to do.
How about the bird on a platter with garnishing around it?
Yeah,
Well, we've got the bird as a mosaic to make it even more mosaic-like.
Sure, why do it
just
when you
come
can
in on
overdo
the, I mean, this is another way to fill it. Maybe just come in on the bird, just the mosaic close up, in a colorful form. I was over there the other day and that's what I was noticing almost from the back end of the bird, where all the,
it?
becomes a different design, a different way to look at it, but you would show more detail.
Well, isn't there a part on the bird that's supposed to represent Webster with little houses and so forth in the mosaic? So we can find some of these images in the mosaic of the bird.
That's what I meant. Yeah, find something that,
Yeah,
well, the colors are not going to be,
well, you can enhance the colors, that's easy.
yeah, but I mean, there's still going to be the colors that
But
they
I'm
are.
thinking the shape of the snowflake will take care of everything. So in other words, the snowflake's design would be superimposed over whatever image we have. So we don't have to worry, we just have to centerize it.
All right,
tell you what,
We'll start with the photos that we have
let's
and
start
see
with
if
the
we have
photos
anything.
and Beth, maybe you
Yeah.
can play with it a little. John, see what you can do, if it looks at all reasonable to add snowflakes. Otherwise, we'll just go with it as is. And I'll just keep sending nagging emails. That'll be my role.
and I'll work on verbiage.
Taking
And
pic-
Sherry will work on verbiage, so. Okay,
Amen.
so good plan. Good plan. Does anybody have anything else that they would like to bring up to the group?
Next meeting,
December 1st would be the first Tuesday. We don't normally meet in December because normally we're having the commissions, boards and commissions. Do we want to meet anyway, or do we want to, and we do have, if
Let's-
Earth Rabbit's in place, we should be talking about lighting and
Yeah.
signage.
The Zooms are easy. If we can just do a Zoom on December 1st?
It's the first Tuesday of December.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Virtual- We could have a
Let's
virtual
do it.
Christmas party.
We could have a virtual Christmas. We may have to have a virtual addressing party for 200 Christmas cards. If we have to
oh
put,
no, we have labels.
Oh, okay.
We have labels for all the board and commission members. It just
Well, somebody's got to
pops out.
stick them. You may all find little baggies of cards and labels on your front
Yes.
porch.
Someday I hope we have mugs with our,
No
Fine.
kidding. I am ready for that.
Hey,
Yeah.
so I missed the end of last meeting. What was decided on the lifetime achievement for 2020? Is that something we're trying to, are we going to celebrate early next year and try to get 2 of them in next year for 2020 and 21?
we may have to wait till the fall.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
the thought was that it isn't, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but how I remember it, we left it was that it's not going to be something that's going to translate easily to an online thing.
Mhm.
And so we really need to wait until it's possible for us to get together somehow, even if we do it outdoors, you know, in the early spring, rather than trying to come up with people online.
And then nominees, was that, was it voted on? I can't remember if we had the next candidate.
Yes, we did.
Stephen Wolf, wasn't it?
Yes. We still have Stephen Wolf hanging out there somewhere.
Okay,
And I
Yeah.
think
Oh, there's an image.
Judy had talked to him. Patrick talked to who talked? Somebody had talked to him.
Couldn't we have that? If we were gonna do it outside, we could have it in the garden over there by the rip.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that way, you know, that would be probably the ideal spot.
Have it at
Or
Earth
we could
Rabbit.
have it in the sculpture park. It's
Yeah,
designed.
have it
to-
at Earth Rabbit. Isn't Earth Rabbit going to be over there?
At Earth Rabbit.
We could do it.
I
all at
think
the
we
same
can
time.
postpone this discussion for a while since we're
Yeah.
all just sort of stuck inside for the next few months.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Just wanted
agree.
to thank you for the update.
Yeah. It's getting
Anyway, that's where
colder
we
and
left
colder
it.
out there.
And then we'll have to work out 2021 after
Okay.
that. All
Sounds good.
right, anything else anybody wants to bring up?
The city has hired a new city manager.
I saw that.
We will have a new city manager. She's coming on board on July 11th. I think she's going to be fabulous. We liked her a lot. She wants to get out and get to know people and get to know, build relationships. And I think we will see her probably coming to a board and commission meeting, getting to know people, getting out in the community. So pretty cool.
Good.
Cool.
Awesome. Anything else? Anyone?
Just a small aside. I started, if anyone's on Facebook, I started a Facebook group, Shop 63119, to support local business. So if you are on Facebook and want to join, it's just Facebook.com/groups/Shop 63119, or you can search it. Love to have you join.
Very nice, Beth. Thank you.
Nice.
All right.
Good to see y'all.
Great. And Lauren, you probably ought to walk around the corner and see the commotion over here. It's unreal.
Yeah,
It is.
we,
Any of you guys, you want to see a sight to behold, just come on over.
we had a,
Check it
we
out.
had a commercial.
I gotta go.
Oh,
Bye.
Bye.
Jerry,
Bye.
hey, Jerry.
Hey, Patrick,
Yeah.
I want to talk to you later.
Oh,
I guess he left.
hey, Jerry. We
Yeah.
had a commercial filmed at our house in 2018. And they told me that they would be here for just a couple hours, and they were here for like 8 hours. And there were like 50 people. So
I know, it's wild. It's absolutely wild.
I'll
Um,
walk around. I'll walk around and check it out.
Yeah, you should. It's pretty
Okay.
incredible.
All right. See ya.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. all.
Okay, see you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.